Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Ever since I started swimming last year, I've been wondering what it would be like listening to music in the water while swimming in the pool or the sea. That's why I recently bought a pair of Aftershokz X trainers and I like them a lot, but something is missing: the wireless connectivity. Now enter the Sony NW-WS623, which is not only a waterproof mp3 player, but it also works as regular Bluetooth headphones. Let's dive into it. So here I have the Sony NW-WS623 mp3 player, which doubles up as Bluetooth headphones. As you might know, radio signals don't work underwater, so Bluetooth headphones cannot be used for swimming even if they are waterproof. So you need a waterproof mp3 player with all the playback controls and an onboard storage, which the Sony has 4 gigabytes of. But on land, during any other physical activity, you might want to use your headphones for streaming from Spotify or listening to podcasts, and that's when you find the lack of Bluetooth connection painful. But not with the WS623s, because these headphones give you both options in a biggish but still lightweight package. And that takes us to the general design. As I just said, the headphones are rather big, especially compared to true wireless designs, but we get quite a lot more features and functions with these guys, and Sony managed to keep the weight down at 32 grams, which makes them surprisingly comfortable to wear, so the size is not an issue at all. Even when swimming with swim caps on, they feel comfortable enough to me. The WS623 have a neckband as well, but I did not experience any chafing on my neck, which would have been a deal breaker for me, but fortunately the neckband is soft enough not to cause any trouble or discomfort. There is an extra band in the package which you can use to tighten the neckband, but I didn't see much difference in terms of fit or comfort, so I decided not to use them. If you are wearing glasses, it might be worth keeping in mind that the neckband is thick. I don't think that should be a problem, but still some of you might find it uncomfortable. Glasses or not, due to their design, I found putting them on a bit confusing at first, but after a while you can get used to it. I still have to check the left and right side markings on the earphones before I put them on every single time, and it takes a bit of playing around to get a snug fit, but what a snug fit that is you get in return. When using the right size earbuds, your ear canals get fully isolated and the water cannot get into your ears. And that is good, but what I found, however, is that taking them off after a swim can be tricky because the ear tips create such a vacuum that sometimes they stay in your ears and it's hard to take them out with your fingers. It means that if you are still in the sea when taking off the headphones, you can lose the ear tips, so you better be careful and check them every time before you come out of the water. Talking about earbuds, Sony is very generous as they give you 8 sets of tips, 4 of which are meant to be used for swimming, as they are sealed to stop water from penetrating the inside of the earphones, and the other 4 are regular earbuds. So you have to make sure you switch to the sealed tips before getting in the water, and you have to be careful when you switch back to the normal tips, as there is a huge jump in volume when you do that, and these headphones can get really loud, so keep that in mind. There are also 2 different IP ratings on Sony's website. One is IP65, which is probably for the regular earbuds, and the other one is IP68, which is for the sealed buds. In either case, the headphones are water and dust proof, and they are okay to be used in salt water too, as long as you wash them every time you get out of the sea. Battery life is 12 hours according to Sony, and this is with ambient sound mode and Bluetooth switched off, but I believe it actually gets pretty close to that in real life. If you only use it for swimming, as I do, it should last you a week or 2 with one charge. Due to the lack of app support, it's hard to tell the battery percentage. There is a light on the right earbud which is supposed to show you the status of the battery among other things, but there are like 1,000 different colors and flashing patterns, each meaning different settings and modes and stuff, so it's not the best way to figure out when to charge your headphones. I guess everyone should read the manual before using the NW-WS623s for the first time, because there are a lot of features and settings and control options to learn. There is also this strange looking charging dock which you have to use if you want to charge the headphones or transfer music to it from your computer. I don't know how these engineers come up with these ideas. I mean, it works fine and it even offers quick charging and all, but come on Sony, you can do better. It should either stand up or lay down flat, but instead it kind of rests on the ear tip, which is not really a problem at all. I just simply find it weird looking. The dock also has an old micro USB port, so there is no USB-C either. But if there is something the engineers did a great job with, then it's the physical controls. The WS623 has a vast array of buttons on each side of the earphones. There is an on-off switch, play, pause and track controls on the right side, and there is a volume control, a playback mode button and an ambient mode button, which also works as a Bluetooth on-off switch on the left hand side. There are 3 different ambient sound modes to choose from and 4 playback modes as well. Since the headphones offer a great level of passive noise isolation, you might find the different ambient modes handy for running outside. There is no smartphone app support, so none of the physical controls or settings are customizable, and there is no EQ either, which would only be a real problem if the WS623s didn't have a pleasant enough sound to begin with, but more about that in a minute. Back to the physical controls for a second. What I like the most about them is that the buttons work even underwater and they have a very tactile feel. They are easy to locate and press, so all in all it is a joy to use them in every situation you might find yourself using the headphones in. On top of all this, there is NFC built in, so it's quite easy to pair the earphones with your smartphone. And that brings us to the main feature of the NW-WS623s, which is the fact that these waterproof MP3 players double up as Bluetooth headphones. If you watched my Aftershokz X-Trainers review, you could see that one of my main complaints was that it only works as an MP3 player and it has no wireless functions whatsoever. Now, the Sonys deliver both functions and that shows it can be done. And it can be done well, I might add. Switching between the MP3 player and Bluetooth modes works fine. You either push and hold the ambient mode button for 2 seconds or touch your smartphone with the NFC logo on the earbuds and it switches to Bluetooth mode immediately. Turning the device off and back on does not change the mode you are in, so if you used Bluetooth last, you will have Bluetooth turned on when you turn on the headphones again. If there is no Bluetooth device around, it will switch back to MP3 player mode, or you can simply use the button to switch back to MP3 player mode manually. It's quick and easy and it works every time. The MP3 player is compatible with most audio formats, but it's not a high-res player, so don't expect it to play your 192/24 high-res flex. Since I've got the 4 gig model, I use MP3s only due to the limited storage, but there is also a 16 gigabytes version in case you were wondering. Storage is not expandable, there is no microSD slot or anything like that. The MP3 player can play folders, albums, and it works with playlists as well, and you can switch and jump between albums, folders and playlists using the mode button on the left earbud. I simply copied some MP3 files to the root folder and use either shuffle or repeat mode to play songs, but as you can see, there are plenty options for you to find at least one that works for you. Copying files through the micro USB cable takes a while, but at least it's charging the headphones at the same time. In terms of Bluetooth, it uses the older 4.0 version and supports SBC and AAC codecs only. Watching videos with the WS623 is okay. I found no lag or lip sync issues with YouTube or Netflix. Connection was always stable, switching Bluetooth on and off is quick and easy, plus NFC is a nice touch. And now let's talk about the sound quality. The general sound signature is good, however a bit too excited on the top and a bit too shy at the bottom, but it is enjoyable. Bass could go a bit deeper, but at least it is precise and quick, which makes up for the lack of depth. The mid-range is lifelike and detailed enough, but the highs are a bit sparkly with loads of energy. The sound is not too relaxing, but I don't think it's meant to be. Switching to Bluetooth, it loses some of the extra energy in the highs, which makes the sound a tiny bit less edgy, but we are talking about nuances here. The bass sounds a bit more powerful through Bluetooth, but it's probably only due to the more recessed highs and mids. In general, I like the sound of the headphones regardless of what mode I'm using them in. There is one more thing I have to mention, and that's the impact the sealed earbuds have on the sound. They not only reduce the output by a lot, but they also muffle the sound a bit. Everything sounds a bit more washed out, all frequencies lose some energy, it's like life got sucked out of them. It's not as bad as it might sound at first, but it's noticeable. Everything sounds a bit different underwater anyway, and during swimming, when you are fighting with the waves and trying to avoid all the jellyfish in the water, the least of your problems will be losing a bit of a bass energy, believe me. And if I want to be honest, it's still the best sounding waterproof MP3 player I have heard so far, so that must mean something. So this is all what I believe to be worth sharing about the Sony NW-WS623s. The MP3 player function is brilliant, capable, and the controls are well thought out. The Bluetooth function also works well. Switching between the two is smooth, no hiccups there either. Sound quality is great, only hardcore bass heads might have a reason to complain, but I have a solution for them too, but that's for another video coming soon. I quite like using these Sony headphones, especially for swimming. I tried using them in the gym and on the treadmill as well, and while they work perfectly fine, I still prefer the Jaybird Vistas for running and lifting, simply because they are smaller. But I understand that Sony needed to make these headphones a bit bigger, so they could fit in all the functions along with the excellent physical controls and battery life. Some app support would be great, but I guess you cannot get everything in one package these days. But I'm more than happy to add the Sony NW-WS623s to my ever-growing fleet of headphones, as I find them very versatile, flexible and well designed. And the sound is good too. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. You can share your thoughts and questions with me in the comments below. Thanks for watching, see you next time.